Somewhere today, you will notice something is wrong. A comment that crossed the line. A decision that hurts someone quietly. A rule that does not sit right with you. And you will say nothing. You will tell yourself you are being careful. But the real answer is found in this powerful thought. You never noticed that bravery sometimes looks like silence first. Thousands of years ago, inside the largest empire the ancient world had ever seen, a young woman lived with a secret she could not afford to reveal. Her name was Esther. She had no army, no title, and no power of her own. She had only one thing to protect, and it was information about who she truly was. The empire was Persia. Historian Amelie Court, who has spent much of her career studying the Achaemenid Persian court, describes a kingdom ruled by sudden decisions and absolute authority, where one man's mood could decide thousands of lives in a single afternoon. That man was King Xerxes. He chose Esther as his new queen without ever learning the one fact that could have destroyed her. Esther was Jewish. And in that palace, at that time, her people were already viewed with suspicion by powerful men inside the court. So she did something almost nobody expects from a hero. She hid. For years, she said nothing about who she really was. Not out of weakness. Out of calculation. Why does staying quiet ever count as strength? Your own brain can answer that, even now. Psychologist Solomon Asch ran a series of experiments in the 1950s that revealed something uncomfortable about people under social pressure. Many will deny what they clearly see with their own eyes, simply to avoid standing apart from the group. Silence is not always cowardice. Sometimes it is a survival instinct, wired into humans long before any one of us was born. Esther's silence followed that same ancient logic. Speaking too soon, in a court built on fear and sudden punishment, could have ended everything before she had any chance to help anyone. Her uncle Mordecai, who had raised her from childhood, understood this danger better than most. He had spent his life learning how to move carefully through a world that could turn on him instantly. Then the danger arrived anyway. A high official named Haman grew furious that Mordecai refused to bow before him. His pride curdled into something far larger than personal anger. He convinced the king to sign an order to destroy an entire people, and almost nobody in that palace knew the queen herself belonged to the very people marked for destruction. Mordecai sent an urgent message to Esther. The time for hiding was over. This is the part of the story people remember. Not the years of silence. This single choice. Esther could keep her secret and stay safe behind the walls of the palace. Or she could speak, knowing that approaching the king without being summoned could carry a death sentence in that court. Her own words, passed down through the centuries, still carry the weight of that decision. If she perished, she would perish trying. Stanford psychologist Philip Zimbardo, through his research with the Heroic Imagination Project, has studied people who act courageously in high-stakes moments, and found something that surprises most people. Brave individuals are almost never fearless. They simply reach a point where staying silent costs more than speaking ever could. The fear does not vanish. It just stops being the thing in charge. That shift is exactly what happened inside Esther. She did not burst into the throne room and shout the truth. She fasted for 3 days to steady her resolve. She planned a sequence of banquets, building trust with the king one calm meal at a time, choosing her moment with the same patience she had used to stay hidden for years. When she finally revealed the plot, and revealed herself, she did it in a way the king could not brush aside. The very plan built to destroy her people became the plan that destroyed the man who invented it. Here's what most retellings skip past. Esther's power was never loud, not even at the end. It was patient, timed, and quiet right up until the exact second silence would have cost more than speaking. That one decision reversed the fate of an entire people, and it is remembered every year, still, in a holiday called Purim. Think again about the thing you noticed today and said nothing about. Nobody is asking you to walk into a throne room. Nobody is asking you to risk your life. But your brain is running the same ancient calculation Esther's did, quietly weighing safety against truth, deciding whether this is the moment or not yet. Esther's story has never really been about a queen. It is about the long, uncomfortable space between noticing something wrong and choosing, finally, to act. Most people spend their whole lives inside that space, waiting for a permission that will never arrive on its own. She did not wait for permission. She waited for the right moment. Then she used it, completely. That is the pattern courage researchers keep finding, case after case, and people who eventually speak up when it actually matters. It is rarely the absence of fear. It is the decision, made on purpose, that this is where the silence ends. So the next time you notice something wrong and feel that old pull toward staying quiet, remember the queen who hid for years, not out of fear alone, but out of wisdom, waiting for the one moment her voice could finally change something. Somewhere today, you will notice something is wrong, and you will have a choice to make. You never notice that bravery sometimes looks like silence first, right up until the moment it doesn't.